Let's talk about Skeleton Crew. This trailer, Star Wars is dying.
Back.
They're bleeding.
They're back.
People are about to. They're back, baby. Oh man, I hope so. But the Skeleton Crew trailer for me, it looked kind of weird. It looked like parts of it looks fun. Give it some props for this does look very unique. It looks very different. But what about this story pulls nothing about a bunch of kids going on an adventure really screams Star Wars to me. I don't know what it is, but it didn't feel like what I like about Star Wars. It doesn't seem like it's reaching for that at all. I want some Sith. I really just want some Sith. We have a void that needs to be filled of Sith material. This certainly is not that, but that's very specific and picky. It's just, I don't know. It seems strange. I think it could be a lot of fun, though, potentially.
I think strange is a good word because I think they're going for Stranger Things / The Goonies with this show, The IG droid was kind of cool to see. That's always badass. But, yeah, it looks interesting. Well, there was that leak that came out a while ago. And the leak about the Acolyte was correct that we read way in advance. So the one about this one was something about the Great Beyond, where this could have an Ahsoka tie-in for that. They get lost inside the Great Beyond where Thrawn took his ship, where he was hiding out. So if there's some type of Thrawn or Ahsoka tie-in, it could be cool. But I guess there's these murderous pirates after them, which. But once again, I feel like they weren't showing a lot in the trailer. It looked like a lot of first episode stuff in the trailer. You know what I mean?
Well, talking about Thrawn and Ahsoka, that's one of the things about Star Wars. We're missing out on interconnectivity. Mm-hmm. It's easy to complain about too much and forcing cameos and forcing connective tissue, but at the same time, nothing about Star Wars is building on a central focus or building off. They're all just doing their own things. The Acolyte, Ahsoka, the Mandoverse has a thing going on, and that's fantastic. It's just been a while. But if this doesn't connect to anything at all, then what's the purpose? Unless you have an amazing story, why are you doing a Skeleton Crew? I would almost, now that you said it, I would really hope that maybe Thrawn's in the background somewhere, but I don't think he is. But it's just why? What are we doing? What's the purpose here?
Are the kids Force sensitive? Because in the previous trailer, weren't they at the Jedi Temple doing the training? Or was there just a couple of them were?
Yeah, weren't they? Weren't they doing Jedi?
Are they little Jedis? Which could, Thrawn's always out there looking for Force-sensitive kids.
Yeah, but again, is this post Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, this is Mandoverse era, I'm pretty sure.
So that's my interconnected thing. If they are a group of little Jedi kids, where the hell were they? Why, during the Force Awakens trilogy, the Ahsoka, we're now just hearing about a group of kids. What are we doing? It seems like they're doing new stuff, but then in an era that we're already familiar with. But then where were these little Jedi kids this whole time? Or their teachers? If they are being taught as Jedi, then their teachers are probably Jedi, and those teachers are veterans if they're teaching kids to be Jedi. So where were they during everything? It's what?
Well, it says here, the series is set in an unknown part of the galaxy, which could be the Great Beyond, and takes place in parallel to the events of The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. So it's the same time period as that. John Watts is the director, of course, the Spider-Man trilogy, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are the executive producers. So I do like that. At least John and Dave are executive producers. John Watts, I do like his stuff. And Jude Law is a good actor. Mm-hmm. So there are some good minds behind this show. Hopefully it's well done.
Yeah. I would need it to tie into something. I either need it to be an amazing story, or I need it to tie into something and build on something that we know is coming, something like that. I need one of those two things to really like it.
My expectations are low, so I probably will enjoy it at least.
Yeah, no one would blame you for that. It's it's the 2020s Star Wars, unfortunately. But speaking of Star Wars and something that's for sure not going to be bad, we got a couple of things going on with Star Wars, so let's get into it. Let's start with Andor. We got a release date for Andor, and that's April of 2025, so,
Damn.
5 months away.
Daredevil's in March.
Oh, wow.
So Daredevil and Andor.
Oh, dude, we got...
overlapping.
Oh, we're killing it. We're killing it next year early on. We got Captain America, Andor, Daredevil. Okay. 2025 is huge. We also have Fantastic Four and Superman, like the two most original comic book characters ever,
Dude.
that are, I think, being taken care of very well by both of their creative teams. And anyway,
and Marvel's back to dropping movies every 3 months too. It's going to be a wild ride.
yeah. And I mean, by the way, Agatha, we have kind of watched it. I guess if you guys really want us to cover anything, I mean, we're not going to do a whole episode, let's be honest, but if you really need something, let us know in the comments. This is something that you would need to comment for. Just look at that message link in our podcast descriptions. If you need Agatha, let us know. I watch it. It's all right. Getting off track here. So Andor, a couple of details here. So 12 episodes. I think that's a big win. I'm tired of these 8-episode things. Unless it's an hour, Penguin did 8 episodes, but they were all like an hour long, so that was fine.
Yeah.
12 episodes, covering 4 years. That's unique. That's different.
Right.
Well, House of the Dragon did it, kind of, and not maybe 4 years, but they did some giant...
They jumped a lot.
They did time jumps to where they had to recast for an older actor. So... I don't know. I mean, obviously, Andor is freaking amazing. You got the same creative team. I'm sure it's going to be good, but that seems really unique, and I'm really excited. They wouldn't do something weird like that just for fun. There's a reason behind it, so I'm excited to see what that reason is.
And it's the final season of the show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's going to lead right up to Rogue One.
Okay. I thought there was more seasons. Do you think K2SO will be in here?
She's got to be, right?
She? Is it a she?
Oh, I was thinking of the ship. Sorry.
We're actually... We're assigning genders to droids. No.
Yeah, I think they got to be in it.
I think he's got to be in there. Or she. I think it's got to be in there. I'm really excited about that. So I would like to see them uncovering the construction of the Death Star. I love that. I love the conspiracy thing going on. Maybe it is a myth. I love that. Orson Krennic is coming back. That's really exciting.
Always love him.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. If Skeleton Crew is bad, at least we got Andor. If Skeleton Crew is good, then Andor is gonna... we could almost next year say that Star Wars is back, baby. Because
right? Come on, Skeleton Crew. When's
Mandalorian and Grogu coming out? That's not 25, is it?
That's actually, it just wrapped filming. They're done.
Well, it's got to be 25.
May 22nd, 2026.
Oh my God! You wrapped filming? You're gonna wait freaking
a year and a half,
18 months? Okay, well, whatever.
That's probably because Marvel got all the time slots already.
I guess, but Fantastic Four is still filming, and they're releasing their shit this summer.
Classic Marvel.
What the hell? That's why their VFX team is always so stressed out.
Right?
We're going to wrap filming in April. We're dropping in May. Let's do this. All right, well, I sure hope. I'm sure Andor will be good. I sure hope Skeleton Crew is. But let's stick with Star Wars, and we got confirmation that we could only take with a grain of salt, even if it is legitimately confirmed. We still don't know for sure if it'll come out, given that about 800 projects have been canceled after being confirmed. But we're going back to the episodic movies, and we got episode 10 through 12. And what is it, directed or written by Simon Kinberg?
I think he's writing it. Yeah, Kinberg will write the trio. He's writing and producing all 3 movies.
Okay. One good thing. One huge win in my eyes. I'm so thankful that one person is writing and hopefully directing. Like, there's no way they didn't learn their lesson with the Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Return of Skywalker thing, where you just have creative minds jumping in for each movie. Like, they better have a blueprint. They better have learned that lesson, and I kind of think they did. Right? Sure, goddamn hope so. Kinberg, gigantic Star Wars fan. So I think that is a win. He was also producer on Deadpool and Wolverine and Logan, 2 banger of movies. He wrote most of Rebels, which that's pretty solid. Especially
crazy. I didn't know that.
He wrote most of Rebels, including the episode where Ahsoka and Darth Vader fight. That's huge. But yeah, from what I've seen, he's a gigantic Star Wars fan. So I kind of hope he's, more involved than just writing. But writing is a big win if, they have one single story for these 3 movies. But there's also the speculation that it's going to continue a Skywalker story. That's not confirmed. There's arguments online whether that's true or not, but I don't want him to continue a Skywalker story. Like, what is there, some lineage that we're unaware of? Another sun hidden in the galaxy? Or is Rey the Skywalker we're talking about here? Like, what's... I don't know.
Yeah, it's confusing because they're saying... Because before this was reported, there was a report that the Rey movie has fired its writer, Stephen Knight, and will possibly be delayed. So they're on their 4th writer now, or that movie is on total. Which is interesting. I didn't really like him in the first place, so I'm glad they're doing that. But if they're going to do 10 through 12, I mean, Rey has to be in it. And they're saying she could be like the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the original trilogy in this one. Maybe where she's only in the first one, then maybe... at the end, a little lightsaber through the gut, maybe actually fatal this time. And then it sets the new heroes off on their journey for the next 2 movies. You could do that. But, I mean, maybe they're just doing episode 10 through 12 to get the fans excited. Like, yes, we're going back to the good old days. So we'll see.
Yeah, what you say about Rey excites me, because if that's true, I would say that no, just her being involved and her being like the Obi-Wan of the next one. Like, the only reason that excites me is because that would possibly show that there is a long-term plan with these, and it's not just being thrown together, because the Rey movie's been talked about for a long time. So if Simon Kinberg knows what they got going on with that Rey movie, and then he's going to include her in this trilogy, then that seems like some kind of long-term plan. And really, that's just what it comes down to. I want Star Wars to plan things long-term. But you can't have faith in Star Wars. Who knows if this is even going to happen, dude? What is he going to drop out? Because that's what the 80% of the confirmations we've had, people just drop out. I don't know what it is. It's like Kathleen Kennedy gives them a bunch of these stupid-ass notes or something, and they're just like, you know what, I'm not going to do this. I came here to make my movie, and you're telling me to do this, and that. I don't know.
Yeah, so we have the Star Wars trilogy, Mandalorian and Grogu, the New Jedi Order, which is Daisy Ridley's movie. We'll see about that. James Mangold's Dawn of the Jedi. Lando was originally supposed to be a TV show. Now it's written by Donald and Stephen Glover, and it'll be a movie. We have Dave Filoni's Star Wars movie to close out the Mandoverse. There is Taika Waititi's movie, co-written by Christy Wilson Carnes. We'll see about that one. Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. There's a writer. Rogue Squadron. Previously canceled, but Patty Jenkins confirms she's still developing and working on the script. And then we have Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy, which I don't know about that, but apparently once he's done with the Knives Out films, he's going to go back to Star Wars. So we'll see about that. But there's a lot in the works. We'll see how much actually make it to our eyes.
Yeah. Ryan would do, I think, a good job if he had a whole trilogy.
Blank slate. Yeah.
If he's not going to go in there and just mess up someone else's plans, the same person who comes back for the movie after him.
They'll bring him in for episode 11.
Right. I hated what he did with The Last Jedi, but I do think he would do good with the trilogy,
Mm-hmm. I think so, too.
Dude, give that guy a Thrawn origin. The way he writes Knives Out, like the whole the detective deducing like the crime scene, that's Thrawn. He's deducing the whole galaxy that way. That would be pretty solid. Give him a Thrawn trilogy. I think a Thrawn origin movie would be good. I think that'd be good. I think it'd be appropriate. I think it'd be awesome. And you got a blueprint. You got the books.
Right.
My one last thing I'll say is with all the turmoil, with all the directors and writers and whatever, I don't think anybody in their right mind would sign on to Star Wars unless they got confirmation that they would have it their way to a certain amount. Like that they wouldn't be, I guess, bullied into doing it a certain way. Like he had to go in there being like, okay, but why did 300 writers or directors like quit after you already confirmed their movies? Like, why did all this stuff happen? Like, if I'm going to sign on, this needs to be this way and that way, you know? So it just goes like, statistically speaking, at some point people are going to have their way and they're going to release the movie they want. Like, you can't have so many things go against them, so many people dropping out. So maybe he's the guy. Huge Star Wars fan. Let's get it going. I'm trying to be optimistic here. All right, let us know what you think in the comments. Let's have a conversation. What do you think of Star Wars? What do you think of the 10 through 12, a new trilogy coming out? What do you think of the Skeleton Crew trailer? What do you think of the Rey movie? And what do you think of Andor?